Hello. So today we are doing an interview with brave CF fighter Charlie Leary. Just wait for Charlie to pop on. Charlie's got a fight coming up with brave CF again in Bahrain on soon, 17th of next month. So that should be good. It'll be a good fight. His last fight, we'll chat about his last fight, but his last fight was in Brave and it was an incredible fight. So yeah, we'll just wait for Charlie to come on and then we shall chat to him. Been around a long time, Charlie. True veteran of UK MMA. So today we are doing an interview with 7 people already. 8-6. Oh, Charlie Leary. That has got to be a record. Invite to broad. In theory, Charlie should get an invite to the video. Connecting. Hey!
Here we go.
That was easy.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you absolutely fine, mate.
Right.
Can you hear me alright?
Yeah, perfect.
Spot on. So yeah, everyone, this is Charlie Leary. He's fighting at Brave CF. Keep wanting to say Brave FC.
Yeah.
Brave CF 9 in Bahrain next month. How's training going for that fight, first off?
It's going really well. The weight's finally coming down now, and I'm feeling stronger and fitter than I ever have before. So it's actually going really well.
What weight's that fight at?
It's at lightweight. Yeah.
Lightweight. I guess as we're on the topic of weight cutting, weight cutting's obviously a big thing at the moment with MMA. How do you find weight cutting? Do you cut a lot of weight or?
I am quite big for a lightweight, and normally I try not to cut too much weight, but I do like my food. So in between fights, I always promise my coach, okay, this time I'm going to stay in shape, and I always get a little bit too heavy. This time I was actually a lot heavier than I should have been because I got married in between fights, so I had a little bit of time off and a honeymoon and a wedding and stuff like that. So I was a little bit heavier than I should have been, but in fact I think it's helped me out because I've put a lot of strength, a lot more strength on and stuff like that while I've been training while I was bigger, and I seem to be carrying it through in the weight cut now. So my weight's coming down, I'm feeling sharper and faster, but my strength's staying where it is. So it's worked out well for me.
That's great. I mean, if you're cutting down the weight and you're keeping the strength but losing the weight, all right, then that's the ideal thing for fighting.
That's the ideal thing, yeah.
So if anyone hasn't seen Charlie before, the best way to point in the direction is go to YouTube and look up Charlie Leary, and you'll probably find your last fight at Brave. Yeah. Which unfortunately didn't go your way, no. But is probably up there for contender fight of the year. It was an incredible fight against Otman Azitar. Yeah. I mean, you dropped him in the first, under 30 seconds.
So yeah, first exchange, yeah.
And then the fight from there was just all out. He had you in a guillotine. He rocked you. You rocked him. It was. Yeah, it was. Talk us through that. It's
a bit of a love-hate one for me. I mean, it got me actually noticed, I think, because it was so exciting and a lot of people are going, oh, what a great fight. But I made silly mistakes. At that level, you very rarely you get away with making one mistake, and I made 2-3 mistakes and paid the price. Don't get me wrong, I love exciting fights. I want to go out there and put on a show, and I want people to tune in when I fight. But it still grinds me a little bit. I could have beat that guy, and he's fighting for the title now on the same show, on Brave 9. So that could have been me. But you know what? I'll go out there, put on a show, and then look for the rematch if he takes the title. So yeah, it's a bit of a niggle for me. It's one of them things. I made silly mistakes. I got excited. I mean, it's a big show. It's a big show, and they put on a really good atmosphere. And I mean the crowd was great. And when I dropped him, my whole game plan and everything went out the window. And I could see the celebrations and stuff, and just went at it. And then my ego took over a little bit when he hit me back. I mean, I was a little bit surprised. A lot of the time, I hit guys, they get hurt and they look for the takedown. They don't want anything to do with the exchange. Whereas he actually just stuck his chin down and started swinging back. And he hit me, and I thought, oh shit! Excuse my language, but he's in for a brawl. I thought, oh, he's in for a brawl. But my ego took over and went, no, I hit as hard as you. Don't worry, I'm going to just put my chin down and swing. And like I say, made the mistakes and got stuck in that guillotine. And don't actually really remember getting out of the guillotine. The last bit.
Was it tight? It looked tight.
It was stupid tight, yeah. All I can remember is being in it and trying to pass and realising I was passing the wrong side, so it was getting tighter. And I just remember saying to myself, don't you tap. Just do not tap. Like, if you have to go out, don't tap. And I remember him pulling back and thinking, just stand up with him, just get him up, just get him off. And then the next thing I know, I'm talking to the ref and to the doctor and stuff. And I was like, I went out, didn't I? And they're like, oh, I think so, yeah, possibly. I think he was out. And it was only when I got back into the changing rooms afterwards, my coach said, what were you doing? Why were you swinging for him after getting out of that guillotine? I was like, oh, I didn't realise I got out of the guillotine. So, it's one of them things. I think, obviously, I wasn't completely out, but that took it out of me, really took it out of me. So.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling when you go to that point in the guillotine. I think people who don't realise what it's like to be put in a choke that's deep, it does mess your head up a bit, and you do feel a bit
it's a strange bit.
Odd after.
So, yeah, it was just, like I say, it's one of them things I'm looking to change it up in training, of working on my mistakes, and they won't happen again.
So Brave 9, you're fighting Daniel Scatizzi?
Something like,
who's weirdly, the one thing I picked up on him, I don't know whether it's an Italian thing, but his nickname's Scat.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, I don't know if that translates to something different in Italian, but as far as I'm aware, that's poo, basically.
Someone, I posted it out on my athlete page, and someone actually put, doesn't that mean poo or something? I was like, well, I don't know, it's the first four letters of his name. I don't know whether he's just shortened his name or what, but it is what it is. I don't know. No idea.
What are your thoughts on him? He's obviously up and coming fighter. He's got an 8-3 record, mainly fighting on Venator FC in Italy. He fought on the same card you did, Brave FC4. Like yourself, picked up a loss, but by decision. What's your thoughts on him as an opponent?
Well, when I see him, I met him not to talk to or anything, but see him around at Brave 4. And when I see him, I actually took a glimpse because I thought, oh, okay, he looks quite big for a lightweight. Not huge, quite wide, like good physique, like wide shoulders and stuff like that. And then I measured myself up. I thought, oh, he's not that big. And then realised he was fighting a welterweight. So I thought, oh, actually, he's not a very big welterweight. So he's been fighting some big guys. Obviously, I've checked his record and things like that. And he's fought some decent guys. He went the distance with Marvin Vittori, stuff like that. But I just think he's more of a grinder. He looks like he wants to just get that clinch and work off the cage, put you down, get the takedown. Obviously, he comes from a great camp, but he doesn't look like he's got the same sort of style as a lot of the fighters that coming out of that camp. But I mean, if he wants to grind, then I'm all up for that. Maybe the cut down to lightweight will be better for him, but he does look like he gasses a little bit. Maybe the weight cut and coming down to lightweight will be better, and his cardio will be better. But if you watch any of my fights, I'll grind through any fight if you want. Like I say, I like exciting fights, but I'll put my cardio up against all the lightweights out there. So I can see it being a tough fight. He doesn't look like he quits, but he does look like he gets tired. I think my pace and I think I'm just slightly better all round. So.
I mean, I had the pleasure of watching you at FCC. I was ringside for that one against Rob Sinclair.
Yes, yeah.
That was a great fight. I mean, that started off quite similar to the your fight at Brave. You dropped Rob very quickly, and that took a bit of that went the distance. But that was a great fight. That was, I mean, Rob, like you said, he got tagged and he did look a bit more towards taking him down, but that was a good fight.
Again, that I had to soldier through that one. Rob shocked me with the fact that obviously I was dropping him early. I will stand with anyone. I'm really happy with my power and stuff like that. Even someone of Rob's caliber, I thought I could strike with him because I know obviously he hits really hard. But I was surprised with his wrestling, how good his wrestling actually was. So again, I rushed. Once I dropped him, I rushed a little bit. I made the mistake of rushing. And then got taken down, so I had to suck it up and work through. But again, it was a good fight. If I can get back to, I don't know whether you've seen the Mick Bowman fight before that when I won the title. That's the sort of performance I want to be putting in again. where I'm not rushing my work, where I'm letting my hands go and enjoying it. So.
Just while we're doing this, anyone who's watching, you can comment in the comments and we'll post the questions to Charlie. For example, David Lee, oi mate, ring me when you're done chatting, you got round. So I presume that might be a coach,
that would be my coach, yeah. He's giving me grief because I left a little bit early from training to come back and finish, and he reckons he's still at training watching, so he stopped the class to show it. But
well, if he's at training watching, he's not training either, so...
Exactly, yeah.
It levels itself out a bit.
I'll see him in the morning. I'll get my rounds in the morning, don't worry. I'll see him.
So you're saying that you've kind of switched training up a little bit for this fight.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you doing differently to swap, to mix your style up a bit for what's his name, Daniel?
The main thing is not getting over exuberant when I land the shots and stuff like that. Obviously in training it's a little bit different because I'm not looking at dropping people in training. I'm not trying to take people's heads off in training. But I'm really trying to calm my work down a little bit, not rush my work and not crowd my work a lot. So when I'm getting top position, I'm not automatically looking for straight away the ground and pound. I'm looking to get in position, establishing my position. I've been told I'm quite heavy on top once I do calm down and establish my position. So I'm looking at trying to do that a little bit more. Like I say, not getting these silly brawls and make the mistakes of letting them back into it or ending up on the bottom rather than being heavy on top. So.
Cool. Another question from James Anthony, who watches most of our live videos. It's a very specific question to you.
Yeah.
Does being bored give you an advantage in the cage in certain positions? So, like when you're caught in guillotine,
possibly it does, but it also gives you a bit of a disadvantage. Apparently, you cut easier when you're bald. Not that I've had a problem with my head being cut. I've had cut in the eye, cut in my chin before, but it does make it a little bit slippier when you've got a bald head. It does help, but then again, it does hinder. If I'm going for a position where I want head control, then it slips off a little bit. So it's a bit up in the air. So it's 50-50 really.
David Lee also saying he's like an iron blanket in response to you being heavy on top.
Yeah.
That's a good comment.
That is a good thing, yeah.
Now, you fought over most decent British promotions, Cage Warriors, UCMMA, FCC,
BAMMA.
multiple British champion.
Yeah.
How does that compare to fighting in a country like Bahrain, which is obviously so... I mean, this is a promotion that's put on by the Sheikh.
Yeah.
How does that compare to British promotions being out there?
You know what? It's a strange one. I've actually been treated pretty well by my promotions. I mean, FCC really looked after me. They're great guys there and stuff like that. I just feel that it's a slightly bit more professional, as in they're trying to move further into like the UFC sort of putting on open workouts, and you're there. Obviously, I travel over there the week before. So when fighting on FCC, I travel up there the day of the weigh-in. I weigh in and then I'm there one night or whatever before the fight. I stay one night afterwards. So I'm still doing everything at home. Whereas fighting on a promotion like Brave, obviously I'm travelling over there a week before. I've got to make sure my weight cut's right. They really look after you over there. I haven't got a bad word to say about them. They really put on nice hotels. The saunas are there, the mats are there, whatever you want. They've got a couple of guys to give you your phone number to phone them if you need something and things like that. So I think it's just a slight step up in organisation. But I can't say bad things about the British shows. Do you know what I mean? There's not I haven't had too many bad things to say about British shows. So
I mean, one thing that I read in the news this week is that some of the fighters are starting to slate BAMMA a bit at the moment because they are starting to do their fights like giving guys who are 2-0 a title shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the Aaron Chalmers thing.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on shows now where they are seemingly, instead of going for guys like you who bring the exciting fights that deserve the big fights, giving it to guys who don't, like the guy who's 2-0 fighting for a title shot, giving it to guys like him just because they got named camps kind of thing?
Yeah. It's a tough one. I feel, I mean, I've had 22 pro fights or something. I feel like I've done my time and I should be on the main cards of these sort of promotions, or them asking to put me on, which wasn't far off. I mean, sign for Brave. There was people asking me to sign for these different organisations. So I can't knock them too bad. And the fact is, okay, they're putting on guys like Aaron Chalmers, but he's selling tickets and he's making money and he's getting it out there. Do you know what I mean? Whether the guy deserves to be where he is just because he's a celebrity, I don't know. But he's working with a great team and he's putting the hours in apparently. So I think he needs a little step up in competition now. So another guy who's maybe 2-0, actually had some professional fights. I know he's fought a couple of guys who've only had amateur fights before. But I can't really knock it. They're a company. Do you know what I mean? They're an organisation that wants to make money. So it's annoying and a bit frustrating sometimes when I'm not getting the chance to make a living out of this. Do you know what I mean? I still have to work nights sometimes to pay the bills and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I do it for the love of the sport.
I think a few of the guys I've spoken to have said basically, I know I chatted to Lou Long a while ago and he was saying that he couldn't really make a career out of it. He does it mainly because he loves fighting and he loves the sport. And I think you do find that with a lot of guys that it is purely, especially guys like yourself who've been doing it a long time, who got into it before there was money in the sport. Yeah. It is just a love of the sport.
That's exactly.
It is a sport that brings passion, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, there's no way in the world I could live off the money that I make from this. It barely gets me through the camp or pays for my supplements and stuff like that. I mean, it's hard work getting sponsors. For me, I don't know whether it's me just personally or everyone out there, but there's very little sponsors these days flying around. So I'm having to pay out for supplements and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I've got some really good guys who help me out, local guys and stuff like that with their companies, like Whiskey Wolf and Sweet Sweat and stuff like that. Really help me out. Capital Heating, but it's not where I can survive on it. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to be hitting these big shows to be able to survive on that money. So, like I say, I still have to work. It's only really part time, but I still have to work night shifts to pay the bills and make sure I've got money coming in to sort all that out. Look after the little one and the wife now. So.
I mean, how's that working now? Your little one's only young now, isn't he?
Yeah, he was 2 in June. So yeah.
How's that working out? Newly married, 2-year-old kid in June. How's that? Has that changed the dynamic a bit of training, or is it still?
You know what? When he was born, it actually made me focus a bit more. I think it made me realise, okay, I have to knuckle down and I can't just do it for the love of sport. I really need to push and maybe take a little bit more concentration on fights. I mean, I've taken some fights stupid last minute, different weights and stuff like that, and maybe made me knuckle down a bit more because I had to think: do I want to be working nights for the rest of my life, or do I want to try and push and actually try and make a living out of this? Now he's 2. He's just started preschool, and it actually works really well because I work nights. So I get home, I'll go train in the morning, then I'll pick him up from preschool, or I'll drop him at preschool, go training, pick him up from preschool now. So I get to spend some time with him. It's really nice. A little bit of lack of sleep sometimes, but that's what happens when you have kids, isn't it? So it's one of them.
It's a joy of kids, though,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if I was working a 9 to 5, I don't think I'd see him as much and things like that. And so it's all good for me.
One more comment I want to bring up that's just popped in. Lucas Pierre Caranano. It's always a pleasure to take care of great guys like you, Charlie. Looking forward to seeing you in action again.
Lucas is a good guy. Lucas is one of the guys I was talking about. You turn up to Brave, and like I say, they give you the pack where they want you to be, what you want to do. Lucas and Youssef, here's our numbers, and literally, it doesn't matter whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning and your heating's gone off, you wanted to have a hot bath or whatever it was. They'll get it sorted. Really good guys there, really nice guys, and like I said, I really felt looked after. So,
do you feel a fight, your next fight in Brave, a good win over that could earn you a rematch either with the guy who fought before or possibly put you in his position where he got a title shot after beating you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, after the performance that me and Ottman put on, I think people want to see that fight again. I've had multiple people say we want that fight again. So a good performance. Don't get me wrong. I need to put on a good performance again, and obviously get the win. But I don't think it's a massive leap for them to put me in. I know there's a lot of guys vying for the title in the lightweight division, or there's 4 or 5 that are looking for that shot. But it just means that I have to put on a performance that makes people really push for this rematch. I think it's a great rematch. It's unfinished business. Do you know what I mean? I see him taking the title as well. So it's for the title. That's great for me. I don't mind adding another belt to my collection.
What champion were you? Had, I know you had the FCC one.
So
what were the other ones you won? The UCMMA?
I had the Ultimate Challenge belt. I had the Phoenix Fight Nights, Budo, FCC, and hang on, what the Ultimate Challenge, Budo, FCC, BC,
Chris Clark,
yeah, BC MMA as well. So there's a few. Five altogether it was. So.
A few guys have said rematch from talking about getting that fight, including Lucas Pereira again, who said we all want that fight. The guys over there would all love to see that fight again, so that's hopeful for you to get that one.
Yes.
None of them can give the world. None of them can give the world Leary versus Azaitar 2. I think general consensus is rematch would be good.
I think so. Like I say, I'm not taking anything away from Ottman, man. He put a performance on. He was the better guy on the night. Do I believe I could beat him? Yeah, 100%. I believe I beat him in a rematch. And I would love that fight. Absolutely love it. And I think everyone would love that fight. You see what we put on. I can't see it being much different as in excitement. But I see me being more composed and fixing my mistakes and getting the win. But yeah, it's. I think that's the fight that everyone wants to see. So.
Definitely, I'd add my sentiments to that as well. It wasn't just a good fight; it was a close fight where both guys could have won it at any time. So it's the kind of fight. I'm not for one of like handing out rematches here, there, and everywhere. But when it's a fight like that where the guy did come back from almost losing to get a close win, it's a nice one to see. Oh, what would happen if it went a bit longer, or
exactly.
What would happen if Charlie had finished that punch he landed in the first 10 seconds? So.
Exactly. Yeah. There was points there where, like you say, maybe if I don't make the mistake of rushing it, or maybe if I don't make the mistake of trying to pass the wrong side and I make it to the end of the round. You never know. The second round. Let's see if we can put on another show. If it's only one round, it's only one round, but it's going to be exciting. But I think we've put on another great show. But again, I'm not looking past Daniel, not at all. Like I say, he comes from a great camp. I have to get that win, and I have to perform as well. No point me going out there and trying to lay on him for 3 rounds. People aren't going to be buzzing for a rematch anymore, are they? So
no. Frank Jansen, do you think Brave will come over to the UK? Now, Brave has got bases in several other countries. Got, I believe, Dublin, Sao Paulo, and Mumbai.
Okay.
I know it's got some bases. So do you think it'll be like ACB? Obviously, they fly around the world putting on promotions all over the show. Now, do you think once Brave establishes itself, he'll start to look towards the UK for more?
I think so. I think now we've got a few UK guys on there as well. I think it only makes sense to bring it over here. I know there's 3 of us going over to Bahrain to fight, and don't get me wrong, I love going over there, but I think putting on a show in England would be good for them. They really do put on a good show, and I think they'd sell a lot of tickets and stuff like that. So I think they can put on a great show over here. As long as the logistics are right and that's it, then I'm sure they will. I mean, they've been to a lot of countries over the last 2 years, so I can't see why they won't come over here.
No, I mean, UK MMA is a booming hotspot at the minute. So if they just look to what ACB were doing, ACB are getting huge numbers from doing UK shows, and they're headlining with UK fighters. So I think it'd be amazing for them to do it. And with it being a relatively new show, what's the talent pool like there? Is MMA big in Bahrain? Is there a lot of gyms out there? Or
in Bahrain itself, it's the Prince is doing really well. He's promoting it so well over there. I mean, it's actually the combat week over there. So they've got the amateur world champions and stuff the week before Brave 9. They're really pushing it over there. They're doing really well, really promoting it well, and it is getting a lot bigger. So I can't see why it's not going to be huge over there. But like I say, it's hopefully just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I can't see why not. I know. Sorry, the fighters that they've got on there as well. I mean, just look at the two guys they've just announced. I think Jay-Z Cavalcante against Alan Omar and stuff like that. Two superb guys to be fighting and stuff like that. They've got a real good talent pool. They're signing some really good guys. And just walking around, being there at Brave 4 in the background, you've got a lot of the ex-UFC guys or UFC guys cornering and teammates and stuff like that. It's, they've got some really good guys signed to them. So
I noticed when I was reading as well, it's backed by KHK gym out there, which has got guys signed to it like Khabib
yes,
and Frankie Edgar as well, who are part of the fight team out there. So I mean, it's surely only a beef. It's got guys like, I mean, those two guys are huge names.
Well, yeah, when you've got people like Frankie Edgar and stuff like that promoting and doing the commentary and being part of the team, you can't go wrong. Frankie Edgar is a legend. He's one of the best lightweights, stroke featherweights around, and he's been doing it for a long time. And when you got people like that part of the company, you know that they're doing things right. Do you know what I mean? If he's willing to put his name to it, then they've got to be doing something right. So.
Yeah. So just going back a bit from this, for a guy that's been in the sport for so long, what actually got you into the sport originally? Just as a quick back.
You know what? My brother always used to box. He was an amateur boxer. I would just loved football. I always thought I was going to be a professional footballer. I played quite a good level. I was playing semi-pro and stuff like that. But I just fell out of love of football and was into watching the UFC. I just really enjoyed the combat sports. Like I said, I was always looking at watching boxing and watching my brother and how well he was doing and things like that. But I was pushing football. And then it just, to me, football started being more about money and people rolling around, and it wasn't a tough game anymore. Do you know what I mean? You can't tackle anymore and stuff like that. So I started looking at a new challenge. And luckily, just one day I was in a gym. I used to work in gyms and stuff like that. And I was wearing like an Affliction t-shirt, and someone asked me, "Oh, do you train like MMA and stuff?" I said, "Oh, we should." The only gyms around were like London and stuff. And someone mentioned David Lee to me, just around the corner. And I was a bit sceptical whether the UFC guy would actually be there teaching, or it would be someone that's met him and just put his name to it. But I turned up to see it, and there he was on the mats teaching, and I haven't looked back since. I can't thank Dave enough. The guy's phenomenal. His knowledge of the sport in every aspect of it is great, and he's really looked after me. So he's done superb.
Two questions come in. Peter Knox, what's the greatest ever fight you have seen in any combat sport?
Oh,
you're allowed to include your own in that if you want.
The greatest ever fight. Oh, there's so many. I really liked like Robbie Lawler, McDonald was a great fight, really good fight. I mean, quite a few of Robbie Lawler's fights. Like I say, I started watching years before I even started training and stuff like that. And Robbie Lawler was one of the guys that I liked to see because he really put it on the line. That was a great fight. God, there's been so many recently. Still, Lawler against Condit as well was a great fight. For some reason, I can't get any other fights apart from Robbie for Lawler's fights out my head.
Well, Robbie Lawler's a great shout for that.
This is it. There is loads of great fights.
MMA is just incredible for some fights. Some of the fights you see now are booming. David Lee, Charlie versus Rob, what a fight. I'd agree with that. That was a cracking fight. Toffa Ray, what do you think about the other two Brits on the card for Brave 9?
I used to have the same management as Cole Booth. And as far as I know, I've never met him personally, but as far as I know, he's a really nice guy. And he's a talent, real talent. I've never met, who's the other guy fighting on there?
I cannot remember.
You know what? My brain's gone blank. I know who he is, but I've seen him fight once as an amateur. And he's talented. But Carl, I think, is only a win away from pushing back for the title shot again. I think it's hard work. I know he's had the title shot and obviously lost the decision, but that's really hard to take a fight on like 2 days' notice. I know he was prepared for the title shot, but a change of opponent, completely different guy to the guy he was fighting and stuff like that. It's going to be tough for him. But yeah,
Hardeep Ray's the other British
that's
guy.
the guy. Yeah, that's the guy. I think he's talented. He's talented. He looks decent as long as he's matched well and not rushed, because I think he's only had, is it 1 pro fight or 2 pro fights? So I think he'd do very well. I do. I do think we've got someone in our camp that would beat him and would be suited for that fight. But we'll see. Maybe the next show they put it on.
Start taking footage over to Brody and go, I've got this guy who needs someone to step in on the card.
Yeah, that's it.
Another question came, I can't remember who it came from. But what's your favourite personal moment in MMA? Best moment for you personally?
It's probably beating Rob. Probably beating Rob Sinclair. I mean, I made my pro debut on the Bama card that he won the world title on. So he was a guy that I looked up to from day one, and someone that I was always looking to emulate and get up there with. I love the way he fights and stuff like that. So to be able to fight the guy and beat him was a great moment for me, really. I think that solidified me being one of the top guys in the UK. Got me a little bit more recognition. So I think that's possibly one of my best moments.
It was a great fight. You could see that it meant a lot to you.
Yeah.
Winning that fight from Cage. Does anyone have any final questions for Rob? We won't keep Rob too late, as obviously he's a busy man and we don't want his coach to shout at him anymore for missing rounds.
I don't want to be tired tomorrow if Dave's going to beat me up. So.
I don't want to cop abuse for it either, so I'm keeping you away. Speaking of which, David Lee, don't lie, your best moment was gazing into your corner man's eyes after that
win. yeah, into Reese's eyes, not Dave's. Reese. It was Reese.
Ooh. I think Reese did comment before saying, "Who's your most handsome cornerman?" Yeah. So is it Reese or Dave?
I know it's actually Daniel Thomas is the best looking one. He's the bald guy with a beard, so he's obviously going to be the best looking. Then it would have to be Reese.
So. Quick question, Chris Clark. How's your career changed in recent years?
Oh, wow. It's, you know what? It's a strange one. Since I signed with the fight agency, it has changed. I think I've been getting the fights that I deserve. Like I said, I put a lot of time in and beat some guys, but I mean, I was beat Jermaine Facey for the Ultimate Challenge title, and I still don't think I was getting the recognition. And then started getting the fights that I deserved, which I think was good for me. It's a lot tougher fights, but that's what I want. I want the hardest fights out there. I want to fight the best guys. So I can't complain. It's going well for me.
And we'll go for a final question again from Chris Clark. What's got better in terms of UK MMA?
I think the whole standard has got better. The whole overall standard of fighters has got better. There is the shows I think have got a better platform now. They know what works. At one point there was a flood of shows. Loads of people see shows and thinking, oh, they can make a quick buck, and they were putting on loads of shows and having to fill them with guys who didn't really put the time in before they were fighting and stuff like that. A lot of journeymen flying in. So now I think British and UK MMA has got the platform that knows what shows work and how to run a show, and they know that they have to put on the decent fights and stuff like that. You can't have guys turning up with these terrible records and just coming off the couch and stuff like that. If you want a show to continue, then pay the guys decent money and book the guys who've put the time in. Do you know what I mean? So
cool. So before I let you go, any final advice for anyone young and up and coming, from a guy like yourself who's been around for a long time, seen it all? Any quick words of advice for anyone that's looking to get into the sport?
Put the time in, put the effort in, train as hard as you can, and listen to the guys who are trying to look out for you, like your coach, and the older guys that have been there. Learn from others' mistakes. Don't make your own. Do you know what I mean? I've had to learn from quite a few mistakes. If I could learn from someone else's mistakes, that'd be great. Do you know what I mean? So I try and pass that on to some of the younger guys here in the team and stuff like that. And we've got some really good guys coming up. They put a lot of effort in. And that's it. You just got to put the effort in and don't get drawn into the party lifestyle and stuff like that. It's when you're young, that's the time to put the effort in and make it really work for you. Because once you've made it to the UFC, once you're John Jones and stuff like that, winning world titles, you've got years ahead of you to go out and party. Do you know what I mean? But if you're partying and not putting the effort in when you're young, you're never going to make it to that level. So put the effort in and make a little sacrifice now, and it will be worth it in the long run.
Anyone you want to say thanks to? Any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, massive shout out to everyone in Team Crossface. I've got so many decent training partners: Sam, Omar, Dave, Reese, Danny. If I've forgotten anyone, I'm really sorry. Obviously, management, fight agency, superb. I can't thank them enough. And then sponsors wise, Whiskey Wolf, Sweet Sweat. That helped with my weight cut. Having Sweet Sweat as a sponsor always helps with a weight cut. Capital Heating. Obviously, I'd like to thank World of Tattoos because he's doing a good job of finally covering me up because I'm very pale otherwise.
It's a good reason to get tattoos.
Yes, exactly. And if anyone wants to sponsor me, let me know, man. Let me know. Get in contact. I'm more than grateful for every help that I get. So.
Check Charlie out on Facebook as well. Your page is Charlie917 Leary, I believe.
Yeah, possibly, yes. I think that is.
I think
Charlie Leary Charlie917 Leary. I think it is.
Yeah. There we go. So check Charlie out on Facebook to check his progress and keep up to date with his adventures in Brave CF.
Yeah.
Before I say that wrong again. Appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you.
Good luck in Brave.
I appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing another absolute barnstormer of a fight.
Don't worry, it will be.
And yeah, good luck. Thanks for coming on.
No worries.
And
thank you.
Don't let Andy bully you too much tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. You take care.
Cheers, Charlie. Thank you.
Bye bye.
It's all right, mate.